Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning connection. How you doing this morning? I'm Skip LaCour. I'm so glad to be with you here again today for our daily ritual, our morning connection. You and me, we're going through the journey of life together, and I'm just here to give you some things to think about as you start your day. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning. As you start your day, I'm just here, just you and I, again, just going through the journey. I've given some things to think about as you start your day. Did you wake up this morning with your game face on? Did you have a plan of attack for today? Something that's going to put you ahead. When you check in, just for a few minutes every single day, it's just a habit to get into. What is that for you? And if you don't have a habit, that's fine. Something to think about every single day. Just get you to remind you of those habits, right? We want to make those habits, those rituals, just things that we do. A lot of times, just something simple like that can put us ahead in ways that maybe we don't realize because it doesn't have that big, huge impact all the time. But it's one of those little things that make a big difference, especially when it's stacked over time. Hey, in today's message, I want to talk about challenges, how we respond to our challenges in life. It's really going to define our quality of life day to day because there's always challenges, right? Do you ever remember a time, you may look back and say, oh, those times were great, but we always have our most pressing challenge. And as I work with so many men one-on-one through my coaching all throughout the day, I think I had 6 hours of talking with gentlemen, going with varying degrees of challenges, right? And it gives me a lot of perspective because, I'm not attached, except for I want the best for my guys. I want to help them, give them objectivity and perspective as they deal with their challenges. But, I'm not in that emotional state where it means the same to me as it does for them. And, from my point, being a little bit disconnected, I can add some objectivity and perspective. But I'll tell you, a lot of times, getting that energy, you're hearing about a lot of people's problems and challenges, what they're going through. It can't help but affect me in some ways. A lot of ways it gives me insight on, if I was in that situation, how would I handle it, right? Or maybe if they don't see their power, or they lack the objectivity that this too shall pass. I know a lot of people, myself, have gone through it, and because they lack that perspective, they're making it maybe a lot more challenging than it has to be. But a lot of times too, it's like sometimes it kind of weighs me down too, right? Taking all that in. I'm not immune from taking in all that energy, and that's what I love about what I do. But that's probably one of the challenges too. And probably the best advice I can give anyone, and what I continually have to tell myself anytime I'm facing any type of challenge, right, is you got to pick some point in the future where you're going to have enough time to work through whatever it is. You got to have the imagination that it is even possible to work through this challenge, whether it takes a week, a month, or a year. You got to be able to imagine and optimistically say, if I did this, this, and this, that tomorrow's going to be a brighter day. You got to have that confidence, at least, that hope, that path, and you got to get to work every single day and pick out a time in the future. Right? Not if you're just all consumed with how something feels today. Always going to be in the middle of it, too attached emotionally to it. I played a lot of basketball when I was younger, and one thing that I used to pride myself is, tenaciously taking on the point guard, the guy who dribbles the ball up the court. A lot of times I was one-on-one situations with that point guard. Right? And now I'm at a disadvantage as the defender because he knows where he wants to go with the ball, and I am always, at least a couple seconds or moments behind trying to react to where he's going. So the offensive player, the guy dribbling the ball, is at a distinct advantage, especially if he's skilled. Right? Doesn't matter how tenacious I am, how engaged I am. I'm always going to be one step behind. You're going to, it's just like in life, sometimes you're going to get beat. Sometimes the guy with the ball is just going to go past you. And if you continually just like ride his hip or you're just there right with him, he's always going to have a step ahead of you. And unless you foul him, you're not going to be able to ever be able to defend him if you just are engaged right there with the challenge once he's beaten you, once he got a step or two in front of you. So, what I knew as a defender is like sometimes you got to give up that short-term battle. You got to put your head down, right? Just disengage with the guy with the ball. And you sprint down court, maybe 30 feet down the court. You just forget about him. You sprint down what it's going to be like 30 feet down the court, so to speak. And then, boom, you turn around because you're not worrying about him. You just sprint, doing what you have to do, run down to the court, pick a spot, turn around, and then hopefully you beat him to that spot. And then you get another chance to re-engage. And I always think about that with any challenges that I'm going through in life. That, any challenge that I'm going through life that, we're always in particular situations because of the choices that we made in the past. A lot of times it's not because of the choice that we're making in the moment. Sometimes you might be doing everything right, but it's just you haven't been doing everything right for enough period of time. You've done things that weren't quite right, for months or whatever, and now you're led into this position. But the biggest thing is when you have those challenges, I know how challenging it can be. Trust me, I've got my challenges too. I might come on here all positive and optimistic, but it's that conditioning of my mind. But the biggest takeaway that if you could get out of this, something I always think about is, what's that spot down the court, so to speak? Okay, maybe I'm beat. Maybe my decisions in the past have put me in an unfortunate situation now, right? Worrying about it, being too engaged in it right now isn't going to do anything. What's it going to be like 5 months from now if I get up every single morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And you join me for this morning connection. You go to bed every single day with that one thing that's going to head. You can have that imagination, that optimism, then get to work. How is it going to be 5 months from now, right, if you do the work? And again, that can give you some hope, clear out all that pain and stress that you might be going through. And it's what you do every single day to make it different. So hopefully that's helpful. That's something that I do. I'm just like everybody else. I go through challenges. I want it to be better. While I'm focusing on one thing, other parts of my life aren't where I want them to be. And then I got to put my attention. But because I haven't been putting my attention there, it's not going to be exactly where I want at all times. So I'm going through it just like you. Hello, Masashi. Good evening. Hello, Jason. Good to have you, sir. Talking to you a little bit later today. Looking forward to how's everything going. All right, so that's going to do it for today's morning connection. Thank you for checking in. Comparing notes. Again, two guys, maybe a little bit older, going through this journey of life. So let's take on the day. If you're a little bit older, we got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Got to seize the day. We got to live with that sense of urgency. Produce. Love, connect too, all right? Work towards our goals, our visions, whatever it is that you want most in life. We got to chip away at it. Expect the best from yourself today. Expect the best from your efforts, and expect the best from other people. They'll get you when you finally crack the code. You just got to have that faith and trust in there again. So expect the best from yourself. Expect the best from your efforts. Expect the best from other people. Have a great day.